if someone in Kenya or US, UK is watching our videos and interested in purchasing land, what advice would you give to them?
Make sure that you search far and wide, because a lot of people, especially if you don't come from the village, they will love to either rip you off or maybe get an extra pay from it.
Yes.
So because they're looking for their cash, you find that these are brokers that come to you. So you'll find a broker like somebody who knows I've already bought this piece of land. They'll come with somebody else and tell them, now let me sell you this piece of land, because during this process, when somebody knows there's already a buyer, the transfer hasn't been done, if we do the search, we can rip this person off before the search changes. So that's what I'm saying. Finding out the land history is the most important thing about when you're buying land. So when you're buying, don't be too fast. And that's what I'm saying. When I came here, I got too many people enticing me to buy different pieces of land.
Welcome to the channel once again. My good name is chachaunlmtd on YouTube. And beautiful people, it is the holiday season. It's December, and we're approaching Christmas time. And I'm here. We're driving through Nyabohanse. This is rural Kenya in Korea. You can definitely see. As you can definitely see, this is countryside. So we are driving, meaning he is my brother Joe, and I got my siblings back there. So we have Joe the driver, my brother Dave, my brother Boke, and my brother Liz, and we are headed on an adventure. We're actually going to be checking out some of the land here in Korea that one of my sisters has actually worked super hard to purchase, and I'm going to be touring that just to see how village life is and just understand the process of what it looks like buying land in the countryside. So we are probably about half an hour away from Nyabohanse, but this is the rural villages where we were born and grew in. So I'm taking you along an adventure to the beautiful countryside here in Kenya, East Africa. This is Nyabohanse village. So come along on an adventure. Joe, you want to say hi to my good people? Nope, you're driving. You guys want to say hi?
Hey, good people. Karibu Korea. Today we are actually going on an adventure for Mashamba. Shago for Mashamba.
Hey guys. Hey guys, Dave over here. We're going to check out some lands in Korea land. So tag along as we take a look at the village. You guys, some of you that are interested in a land here, holla at your host. Guys, so we're in the countryside. Which river was that?
Ragana, if I'm not wrong.
Ragana River. So we just Hibo. Oh wow. Okay. So we just passed through a river called Hibo. It's one of the most famous rivers around here. I can remember as a kid, but I just passed it as Dave was talking. Hey. So we are definitely here in the countryside. This is how things are looking like. So I'm here in the car with my siblings. We're all headed towards checking out the land. There's some village vibes here in Kenya, East Africa. And this is how the villages look like, guys.
Straight. So can they be straight like this?
So as you can definitely see, this is like a main village center. Dave, this is still Nyabohanse?
No, it's called Getonganya.
So now we are in Getonganya. Getonganya we're headed towards Masaba, right? Headed towards Masaba. So this is Korea East or Korea West? Kuria West, here in Migori County, near the border of Kenya and Tanzania, Hispania, Sirare. So yeah, guys, so this is what the villages look around here. So I'm taking you on an adventure. You guys are used mostly to Nyabohanse vibes, but Kuria is huge. Kuria is one of the minor traditional communities in Kenya. We are surrounded by other neighboring tribes, but we are centrally located in Migori County. So you can see fields with cows. People have harvested their maize and they're drying them alongside the roads. But these are pure village vibes, beautiful people. So welcome to the channel. If you're brand new here, kindly like, share, subscribe, help us on the road to success. But yeah, so come along with this adventure as we check out the lands around here. So we drove from Nyabohanse, we're passing through Nyankore, now we're passing through Nyatomanya, heading to check out the pieces of land that my siblings have over here in Kuria. So in the old days, typically what would happen when
you check on your right hand side when you're becoming schools, the school of primary school. Okay, if you happen to check a primary school, you slow down. Horera, particularly.
Okay. So is that a primary school?
Yeah, we should be taking a turn at a school called Horera.
Okay.
This road used to be pathetic, like this bridges.
Right.
It used to be pathetic, so they presently been
Reconstructed.
these are the kind of bridges where they packed final destination.
Yes.
Come across that river and like really see your final destination.
That's
I
funny.
did not see that coming.
We have funny characters here with my siblings. So Dave was saying that bridge used to be really, really terrible. It used to be where people have fallen or people have ended up losing their lives because of the poor quality. But as you can see, most of the roads, they are not all tarmac, but I think definitely with the evolution of the county system in Kenya, a lot of developments have happened. So yeah, so we're headed towards checking out the pieces of land. You can definitely see these trees. They're mainly used for constructions because they're very tall and skinny. So you can see all around you, the land is fertile. Majority of the Korean community are farmers, and so you see corn, you see cows, you see goats. So they definitely depend on the land to sustain themselves. So this is Korea. This is how things look like.
And then she will actually go up with you.
A lot of banana plants along the roads as well, and a lot of maize or corn. Most folks around here get around by walking or taking border motorcycles, as you can definitely see ahead, and mostly some of them are very loaded with heavy luggages, and most folks are also making their way from the cities to the villages to celebrate Christmas holiday. So we are kind of like on the eve of Christmas Eve as we take this adventure along here in Kuria West, past Getonganya village.
Yes, 16.
Dave,
One African.
where are we coming to?
Yes.
Where are we coming along now?
16.
Which village?
Fully booked.
But this looks like another town center.
Masaba.
And he's selling
Masaba.
bank. It's 500K a month.
You might have need to get a fund. Masaba.
Hapa tuko Masaba.
Let's take a tumefika hiyo turn. Kini Masaba. Let's go back. We must have missed at least some of You remember when I was telling you guys we'll be looking.
So guys, now we are in Masaba town. So it's close about maybe more than half an hour away from Nyabohanse, Masaba. And we are headed towards checking out the pieces of land that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So we are in,
The school iko ndani kidogo ya.
Okay.
Reverse wingie na hii barabara.
So we are actually kind of trying to find logistics wise, we're kind of my siblings are trying to remember a little bit where the exact location is. I think this is the path right here. So we're kind of back in
this road to
oh, this doesn't look that great.
So
So guys, we're backtracking our way a little bit to find where we are headed, but we just asked for directions. So is this one right here?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we have located our way. So
From the other
you can definitely see here in the villages, you need a car that is raised high because the roads are really bumpy. Kenya, guys. We're in Masaba and headed. As you can see, roads are rocky, not for the faint-hearted, but the folks around here make do and get along. So come along as we check
one of the more
the pieces of land that we're quarrying. So you can see here some of the maize is like kind of like very small, like they just planted like a month ago, but it looks like people vary what times they plant their maize. Maize other places is called corn.
Also, he has a almost 5-star rating. Of course, 5 minutes. I feel like that means
America difference in a couple. I mean, it's the wood, the furniture.
I mean, look at this kind of thing. That you can't
Oye,
turns out it's not a long road.
Then the top is white.
so we're actually passing through one of the schools here called Bohorera.
But if those are the other things, you could also change.
Is this a primary school?
Yeah, this is what I was looking for in the mine.
Yeah.
But it's
And
along
people won't
that
even mind the location.
road. So this was supposed to be my landmark.
Okay.
But apparently you see Kondani.
So is this Kehancha or Masaba?
Masaba.
Oh Lord, look at that. Look, this is should we get out? I think if you balance
right here. These rocks might be able to get through, but the path is really not that great. But Joe is trying his super best. Yeah, you can see the potholes and the deep holes in the ground that you have to navigate to ensure that your car comes out well. But Joe, he is an experienced driver, so right, Mr. Joe. So guys, we made it. So guys, we have made it to where we're going to be walking towards to check out the pieces of land. So I have Joe over here, the driver, and then we have Liz, Dave, and Boke. So we're here, and Dave, this is where? Masaba.
This is Masaba. So maybe you can say Bohorera.
Bohorera.
Bohorera Masaba.
Masaba.
But now there's a particular name for this village or location, but we are not sure. I'm not sure what particular the name of the location is.
Yeah.
In terms of like sub-location, location. But generally you can say Bohorera.
Okay. Hey guys, you can definitely see this type of road is not one that a car can actually pass easily. You can see how it's been dug down with soil erosion. So we're having to make our way by foot. But welcome, this is rural Kenya. We're in Kuria West in Masaba. So Masaba will be a town, or what would you?
Masaba like a district or a sub.
So like
District basically.
yeah. So we're passing through someone's home. And basically the way the setup of a home is, it's kind of like in a round setting. You have houses, and then in the middle, it's kind of like a circle with different things, with different houses for, let's say if you have a family. Let's say for us, for instance, here with my siblings, like I would have a house on one end, Dave would have a house on another end, and Joe would have another house on the other end. So in a Korean culture, typically that's how things are. But you can see, guys,
Traffic behind you.
there's traffic. Oh, cows. So guys, you can see how green and beautiful it is. Liz was joking that we have traffic behind us, but it's just calves. Mura, no yere. Who kuyori kuchirisia? Hey, who kuchira? Yeah. So this is
So guys, Davy, Liz, that's Chacha. These are my siblings, guys. Say hi.
hi.
Salimiana.
Can I? So is this for YouTube or for Instagram?
Anything, I'm not sure.
So if you're shooting for Instagram, for YouTube,
That's why Instagram. No, for YouTube, I'll have
it has to be like this.
No, I'm not shooting for YouTube.
Yeah. I was just trying to make sure because I learned that the hard way. So guys, here it looks like they still are doing tobacco farming. You can definitely see this is tobacco right here. When I was a kid, tobacco was the main cash crop that helped a lot of people go to school and whatnot. But they kind of got away from tobacco farming, but it looks like it's coming back. So you can see here, habari yako? So you have cows here that are tethered to the ground. Yeah, but typically the cows here, they probably belong to one of those households over there. We're just teasing around and joking. Liz is kind of a little timid towards the cows. But yeah, so we're gonna be walking and taking you along on an adventure. This is countryside vibes, guys. So this is Africa. This is Africa. We're in East Africa. We're in Kenya. We're walking through the thickest villages and taking you along on an experience this way. So like this is someone's.
Meaning I'm supposed to dig go straight to my house. That's part of the main road Yagava. So it goes all the way to where my land is.
Okay. So this is someone's home.
they're the main. So the family we bought from, their home starts from here. So this piece of land starts from here, but we're going all the way down.
All the way
We'll
down.
Come back and say hi later.
Okay. So guys, as I was saying, this is a typical setup of a family household. No hoyere. Bariako. So you can see this is how they wash their dishes and dry them. And this is a typical setup of a family. You can see.
And that's what I'm saying, we proceed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my sister was just telling me that we needed to just fast check with the family to make sure that it was okay to show their compound. Yeah. So typically, through these thickets of Zayn is excited, Oboke, my sister. So yeah, so we're making our way. So this is over here is the main road, but it's been eroded. As you can see, it's been dug down deep through water, because as the water rains, when it rains, the water erodes the road, and then over time it goes deeper and deeper. So people have had to make a way on the side, as you can see. But this is the bushes, guys. But this is how villagers over here survive, walk around. So I'm taking you on that raw, authentic village experience here in Kuria, in Kenya. So yeah, so this is how things look like on the ground, away from big cities, but life in the villages, and these folks make do and have been living like this for thousands and thousands, probably millions of years here. This is how I grew up. This is how I grew up. This is how we used to navigate and get around through the thickets and the brushes.
Okay, so Chacha, where we came from, so like I'm saying, we got this land from one of our cousins, and the father had already at least divided for them the pieces of land. So the first piece of where we went, that's the second born son, and now the first born lives here. So now we are moving towards the end, towards now where the other property is.
Okay.
So at the moment, at least both of them, the dad made sure that he has already divided and given them their portion, and so each of them was able to at least sell me a portion of a piece of their land, both the elder son and the younger son.
Okay.
One of them was doing it so that he can also join the army, because here in Kenya, as much as you're young and you have a lot of land, you also need money to continue with your other adventures or endeavors. So he particularly wanted to enroll in the army, and he needed the money to be able to facilitate the whole process. That's why he was able to sell me this. The older son wanted to kiss the daughter.
Right.
So he was able to at least give me a portion so that he can pay school fees for the daughter.
Yeah, so guys, as you had my sister Book explain, he bought the land from this family. So typically what happens is, from our Korean culture, if you have male sons, so the dad or the family would divide their big pieces of land. So assuming that this is all one family's land, so they would divide the land for let's say we have 3 sons, using the example like, my two brothers here. So we'll each get a piece of our land to build on and make our own. For the ladies or for girls, typically they don't inherit land in the culture. So that's a little bit different.
But nowadays they do.
Nowadays they do.
Yes. Nowadays, depending on how woke the parent is, I've seen a lot of parents who are now making sure that their daughters get, but some households are still sticking to the old school ideas. But if you have siblings who are at least fair, they will accept for the daughters too, or even from their piece of land that they've been given, they will make sure that they have given their sister at least a portion of it.
I'm not sure if there's a route here.
Let's go. I know.
Yeah. So as you can hear, So you can hear Liz, Boki explaining the process. That's how inheritance usually works. At least in the Korean culture, that's how things usually work. So we're trying to find a way. It looks like she really got land in the real village, away from a major town center. So we're trying to trace and find a piece of land, and she can show us. So all around, as you can see, these are all farmers. I showed you up there tobacco, and then we have corn and walnut. So look at this. So these are the paths that we're walking through in the village. These are just paths that people have walked through. You can see the bush is very thick. So this is the real authentic rural village culture that I grew up in until I moved to the city about 10 years old, and then eventually moved to US to go to school in my late teens. All right, let's find our way and we'll continue the adventure. Guys, if you're tuning in, welcome to the channel. If you're brand new here to this space, I'm a Kenyan YouTuber from this community of Korea. I reside in Virginia, USA, and I'm here home for the holidays, and we're going on these amazing village adventures here in the countryside. So welcome. Kindly like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know where you're watching from. Here they are harvesting corn. So usually they will cut the corn, as you can see here, and then pile them like this. And then they will come and take out the corn bushels or the maize bushels, and then they will feed the stems to goats, cows, or even use it, store it to dry, and then use it as manure to fertilize the land as well. So this is village life. This is how things work around here in the village. And here we're all making our way. So these are my siblings, Boki, Joe, Liz, Dave, are all making our way. Kind of beautiful family reunion here in Kenya, East Africa. Okay, hold up. So you're saying?
My piece of land starts from this bush.
From this bush?
Yeah, like we're talking, like we're saying.
Okay. So here there's a lot of mud due to the rain. So we're just being a little careful so we don't slip into the mud. So guys, like this are guava fruit trees. These are the most, they just grow naturally. But this is what we used to eat.
So this is what I extended.
Okay.
100 by 100.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What you said?
So the 2 acres is already been dug. So this is what I extended. So this is what hasn't been farmed. So this is 100 by 100.
So from where to where?
You will see kuna kifungi mahali. Just point that kabush. You see this?
That, okay.
So ndio makonge kwanza.
Okay, the sisal. So there is one sisal here. This is what demarcates the land here to show where the boundary of the land is. And then Boki is trying to trace where the other sites are demarcating the land is. So you can see this is undeveloped land. Okay, so this is the other piece of sisal. So all the way goes straight.
Yes.
So guys, we're here touring my sister's land, Boki. As I was saying, right here it's very muddy. But actually what I wanted to do is to show you guys. So over there you can see this big sisal plants. Those are the ones that demarcate the land. And this, as you can see, this is deep in the village. So she's showing us around. So she definitely bought this piece of property here. So I'm going to be finding out the process of buying and what this whole thing entails, so that if you're looking to buy land in Africa, what it really looks like. she was very thorough with the process, but this is also looking like it's very, very, very fertile land. You have water. I don't know if you can see water. It's kind of like dripping from the ground. It's very, very wet. So this is not dry land. And over there you can see, so this piece here hasn't been farmed, so it extends all the way to the top. And also you can tell that this is very fertile because there's a marsh. This grass is kind of like a marsh grass, so it means that it grows in swampy areas. I remember as a kid, I know time that you have this type of grass, you have to be super careful because you know that there is a lot of water underground. And this, yeah? Okay, so we're here in the bushes, guys. These are the bushes. This is how things look like. One of the things I remember as a kid in the countryside. Oh, so actually let me show you guys that I'm not just talking air. So one of the things I said is that when you see those type of grasses, you know that you're near water. So there it is. We have a river right over here. As you can see, there is a river right over here. Water is flowing right over there, guys. So yeah, you can see. Yeah, and it's where that is very mushy. Usually means that you're underwater and you're near water. And as you can see, there's a little stream right here going through. And sometimes if it's covered like that, you could be walking right into water. So yeah, so that's what I was saying, and sure enough you can see here. So I'm navigating carefully so that I don't sink or end up in a ditch. Yeah, so the land is very fertile. So let's get more detail from Boke of how things, of how the process was purchasing this land. Look at the maize over here. It's growing, and you can see the water. It's very, very, very wet. Very, very wet and mushy. Definitely. It looks very fertile. So I want to find out why she decided to buy land here in a very thicket of the bush. But this is very prime. Probably the price was more affordable than buying like in Nyabohanse village center. So Boke, yep. So it starts from the top. So the land starts from the top. Does it go to the cornfield as well?
See, those trees over there, it goes all the way to those trees.
Which ones? The thick
Not
or
call this
one's over here? This closest over here. Yes. So, oh wow. So all this
from there all the way there is that's my land.
Wow. So
2.2 acres.
2.2 acres. That's a big piece of land right there. So mom who alikuzia? Okay.
Kennedy.
So the guy over there watching is the guy who my sister bought the land from.
Sasa kwa mandugu zangu, first born, second born, third born, fourth born.
No, yere. Chacha.
Ni werema.
Werema?
Ereka.
Okay.
Wacha niuzungushe nione.
Anatuonyesha?
Haya.
Sasa. Asante. Anyway, we were just meeting. This is the brother that sold the piece of land to Boke. So Boke. So I think a lot of our viewers are fascinated about the process of buying land, especially since Nyabohanse is a big hub for buying land.
Yeah.
So for you, why did you decide to buy so far away, here in the thick of the bushes in the villages?
So I think when you're buying land, you have to consider a few things, pricing being one of the things.
Yeah.
So the costs, if you're somebody who's looking for a piece of land closer to the road,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be more expensive as opposed to further in the bush. I wanted a place where I can comfortably plant my trees, which won't be affected by, human traffic, a lot of grazing. And so for me, this was ideal because it's way hidden away. And at the price point that I was getting the piece of land, for me, it felt like for the project that I was looking for, this would be ideal. So what I've been trying to do is be strategic with where I am getting my piece of land. So this particular...
So guys, we are here in the villages. So my sister was showing me around, and my camera actually overheated. So I think either I got good footage or I might be missing some footage. Yeah, so she's showing us the demarcation of her land here in Kuria West in Masaba. So we're checking out the pieces of property, but I will have her just talk a little bit about the process of buying the piece of land and why she decided to invest out here. So at least that if you're thinking of investing land or thinking about living someday in Africa, because there's a lot of folks that are definitely interested in owning land in Africa and whatnot. But you can see, guys, there's an abundance of land depending on where you want to be centrally located. So this is the bushes you can see. Lots of this used to be very thick forest that have been so developed and are either getting cleared for agriculture or construction. But out here in the village, deep in the villages, you're not gonna find a lot of real estate investments and things like that. But this is definitely raw land. As you can definitely see, I'm navigating my way here through the thickets of the bush as we learn more about buying land here in the village. But you can definitely see these are the marshes. There's water right there.
But you can see some of them that we have planted.
Oh, okay. So you've actually planted trees. Okay.
So in between,
so this is a tree.
Mahindi, there are
in
trees.
Between the maize, there are trees.
All of them. So 4,000 all the way. I planted 4,400, but I need to keep replacing. So some of them you can see here they are.
Okay.
All the way you'll find.
So did you plant them along your land, or like it's crisscross?
The whole piece of land, not crisscross. The whole piece of land has trees. Even when you can see, we use
4,000 trees.
4,000 trees.
Wow!
All the way to the end. You see, all like this. If you keep walking, you'll find the other one here. You'll find the other one here. The other one is here. So the whole piece of land.
Wow.
So because I needed them to take care of them, I agreed they can plant their maize so that they can palilia. But you can see how it's a palilia. But this one is supposed to come out in January. So once they harvest, now I do my check. Whatever the trees that do not survive, I need to transplant. But then I'm not planting maize again inside. I'll only do beans to help with the nitrogen for the soil. But then I'll add the trees because I'm sure some of them were not able to hold. We were waiting for the rains to come when we were doing the planting. But for the last 2 months, the rain has been very scarce. So I have 5 different species of trees planted throughout. I was very keen to make sure that I have trees because we are close to a very waterlogged area. There's a stream here that passes. So there's this miti and ndege type, this type that is supposed to kukunywa maji. So we made sure we planted that along the water bank, as well as I want to introduce some. What's the name of bamboo? The ones that are in the house.
Bamboo trees.
Bamboo trees, yeah. So along this water bank. We have trees for honey. Okay, I want to also do beekeeping here. So I was very particular about the trees that I was planting. So the trees that flower and the ones that provide also foliage for the bees. I can't remember the name, but it's a casamara or something. So the casamara trees are somewhere in between, in the middle. We have I'll actually, we'll do a whole vlog because I've written them down. We'll break down the types of trees that I was able to plant. But you can't see, but we have 4,400 trees planted.
4,400 trees. That's a big investment.
So all the way, you see, so these trees all the way to the top, and then all the way to now those are the trees where we were at the bush at the other end. So that's the piece of land.
Yeah. So this, you said it's 2.2 acres?
Yes.
Okay, let me get through here, through the bush.
Hapa tunaweza pita ndio itapitisha. Tukipendea kule kwingine ama.
Okay.
Huko mbele kuna makopa mingi sana. Ama tutapitia kwa mahindi mengi.
So these are ndoma.
Yeah, yams.
Well, yams. Yeah,
Yams.
they do well in those areas.
Yeah.
I also want to plant this, but this one belongs to my neighbor.
Okay.
We're still going to
It's too thick. I can't be able to do it.
So guys, you can definitely see this tree here. It attracts a lot of birds. Even as a kid, I remember birds used to make their nests. Let me see if I can. Like there is a nest that the birds are building. So we're here exploring in Masaba, checking out my sister's piece of land. I think she said it's a 2.3 acres. So let's learn some more.
You see, they keep their own trees. So like this species of trees, you can use one. You can see there's one here. So this one now is for the beekeeping. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are several.
Yeah. So you were saying this is 2.3 acres.
2.2.
2.2.
Yes.
So what does the price of that piece of land go
I
by?
don't want us to talk about prices here, to be honest, but prices vary.
Okay.
Prices vary depending on which thing you're buying it from,
Or what the family needs.
what the family needs.
Yeah.
I don't think a bargaining power.
Yeah. So my sister says prices usually depend on the family bargaining power, and sometimes families sell land out of need. They might have a sick family member they need to take to the hospital. They might have a kid who's studying in university and they need to raise school fees. They might need an investment, like the son who sold this piece of land. The brother actually needed to, so you can see how thick the bushes are. So he needed to join the army, and sometimes that process can be very strenuous. So a lot of either having to tip people's pockets to make sure things happen. So yeah. So what was the process like to actually buy? Is this a mango tree?
No.
So this is one of the indigenous trees when I was growing up as a kid that we used to have around our family compound. I still remember this tree. I don't know the name of it. So for you, the process of buying land, like, did you do a formal search?
Yes.
Or how does it work if someone is interested to learn more about that, especially here in the countryside?
So first things first, when I was told about a piece of land, mine was to come and see where it is. Once I saw it and I fell in love with it, and we agreed, and I needed to find out how's the ownership.
Right.
So most of the land in the village, you'll find that the families have already divided amongst the kids, but the transfer of title deeds, or even the title deed itself, is not available. So even when it comes to the price of the land, one of your key negotiating powers is to find out how easy it will be
to get the
title deed. Because if the process is longer, then the price should not be as high. But if the title deed is readily available, then that means that person can even hike the price, because they're giving you a piece of land that the title
is
deed
already
ready.
has been processed.
Yeah. So
what does it entail
first
to
things
process?
first, it was figure out who owns the land. So in this particular case, the land was still belonged to their grandfather.
Okay.
The grandfather had passed away. He had already given it to his son. He had one son.
Right.
So the son, who's now our uncle, has two sons. So he divided it to his two sons, but he had not transferred the title deed.
Right.
So the deed was still under the grandfather's name. So for me, I needed to know if we were to
purchase
the piece of land, how long will it take? And are they ready to now transfer the title deed exactly from now the grandfather, so that it can move to the father, and then now the transfer can be handed over to the sons.
Right.
So the family was ready and they were willing. So I needed to know the piece of land now. They gave me the plot number. I took the plot number and I looked for a surveyor.
A government surveyor?
Yes, a government surveyor. So the government surveyor, we went and did a land search. Land search, so you'll be given the plot number
among the
whatever
government records of land.
Yes.
Okay.
So that we can identify, is it true that it belongs to their grandfather? Was there any other previous owner? Is there any person who is claiming or has dispute for the land? So we found that the piece of land has only been registered to one previous owner, which is the grandfather.
Right.
So with that knowledge, I needed to get the death certificate
For the grandfather.
Exactly. So that they can tell me it's true, this is the person and this is the piece of land and this is the death certificate, and so it has been left to the son.
Let's walk over here and show me the land again in case that footage I didn't record it on the camera. I want to make sure I capture that moment so we can show the people.
So once we did the land search, I was comfortable. I also needed to know the size of the land.
Right.
That's what I wanted to know. So I was told approximately it's 10 acres of land.
For the land of the family.
Of land, exactly.
Yeah.
They own. So from where we started from the top all the way to the bottom. So this is towards the end of their farm.
Right.
So I was only given 2 acres out of the 10. So the family still owns 8 acres, which is one of the things I did not want to take away from the family land. So they were able to at least identify this area. So once we identified this is where, I came with a surveyor and we were able to measure. So if they have agreed it's 2.2 acres, I need an hour for us to demarcate.
Right.
Where is that 2.2? So we drew. Once you demarcate, now that's when you unachimba unaweka makonge as your.
Yeah, you put the size, so the size on the ground. Yeah,
So right
you
now,
showed us over there and some of somewhere around here.
So now that because I've already finished paying for the piece of land, I can now put up a fence.
Okay.
Before you put up any fence or any permanent kind of demarcation,
Structure?
you have to make sure that at least you're finished paying or even the agreement that you have.
Yeah.
So we agreed this is the size and this is the price. I came with a surveyor. We were able to demarcate and so he was able to say this is where it passes.
Yeah.
So the other key thing about whenever you're buying land, when I was doing that land search, you need to identify where the government roads pass.
Right.
Because someone can sell you government land or road, and you see when the government will come back and say that this is part, they already sold it to you. So you basically bought air. Because the government will take it away from you.
You lose the
and
money.
You are the one who was. So I needed to find out where are the government's roads passing.
And the surveyor helps with that.
So you get a map. So after we got the plot number and I've been able to identify this is where you guys want to give me, I'm required for the physical map of this area.
Wow.
So that physical map shows where the roads are passing. I have a copy of that map I can show you. So that it will show you this is where the government roads have been. So part of the road goes all the way in between the piece of land, and then you see where we were passing just now. So part of that land, I had initially been told that's where the government road passes. So I needed to come back and say, hey, the place where you showed me is part of government land, so you cannot give me that. So now we had to move. So with the government road, you have to pay 9 steps, but it's at least
you have to take steps using
the physical way in Korea. You do 1, 2, 3, so 9 steps. So it's basically almost 50 by 100 when it comes to the piece of the portion. So they had now to move the previous demarcations where we had initially demarcated because I knew the government road might pass there. So we moved inwards. So we had to demarcate it differently. Once you have identified this is where the government roads are passing, you know the piece of land, you've done the search, it belongs to ABC, so and so, and you have agreed on the price, then you either can look for a chief or a lawyer. So 2 ways. So as we wanted to use the chief, the Nyumba Kumi initiative.
Because he knows the villages, he knows everything.
The families, he knows the story. In case of any drama, he would know, hey, this land belongs to, if somebody ever comes and says, this land belongs to us, no, they know who the land belongs to, to.
Yes.
So we came with the chief. The chief was able to also, now wherever we had demarcated, he had his own watu wa mkono. So we did a physical too na with measuring tape, and so we were able to identify, and then we wrote down. We had to write down a written contract,
Right.
where now this is the amount of land. This is the piece of land. This is the size, and this is the amount. And now I plan to pay it in installments for at least 3 months. So we signed against it, and so you have to also give the chief something, plus the surveyors that you brought.
Yeah.
Once you have that piece of document, then now you can take it back to the survey office with the search, the survey, and now the death certificate for their grandfather. You can now start the transfer
Of the title deed from the grandfather. So this is also helping each son and the father to get their own portion and get the title deed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that transfer will take place. But then, so the process, like I've said, identify the piece of land that you want, negotiate against it. Once you negotiate, find out what the plot number is, do a search against it. If you're sure that the search is correct and you're sure that these are the person selling you the land is actually the owner of the land, then now you move and come in with a surveyor.
Yeah.
You measure and then you get the mapping of the place.
Right.
The mapping will be able to tell you where the government roads are passing, and in case of anything, if anybody else has been sold, it will have been indicated in those documents. So like for now, the piece of land I have bought, now we have to draw a new map. So because we have already demarcated, they had to come and do new mapping.
Wow.
So the new mapping, it shows now they have been able to divide. So now they'll give this a new plot number, the 2.2. They'll give the boys
So
a
your
new
piece
plot
of land
number.
is gonna get its number.
Its own number.
Then the brothers are gonna get their land, and the dad is gonna get their number.
So the dad gave it out. So the dad doesn't want the land. The dad has already transferred it to the two boys. So the land will be split into 3 parcels. Mine, the firstborn son, and the second-born son. So everybody has a title deed. So he has a title deed for his portion, this brother has a title deed for his portion, and I have my own title deed. So that if I was ever to sell now this piece of land, it belongs to me and I can sell it with my title deed. If I wanted to add against it, that would mean if I add, I'll have to now start another process to get the title deed, because that's now will be separate from whatever I've already purchased. At the moment. So it's a lengthy process.
It looks like it's a lengthy process.
Step by step. But if you do it right and you do your due diligence in terms of finding out the land history, because I think the land history is what matters the most.
The land history is what matters the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the insight. I want to get drone footage of this real quick. So I don't know if that's going to take too long. So if someone someone in Kenya or US, UK is watching our videos and they're interested in purchasing land, what advice would you give to them?
Make sure that you search far and wide, because a lot of people, especially if you don't come from the village, they will love to either rip you off or maybe get an extra coin from it.
Yeah.
So when I came looking for this piece of land, the people around had, hey, somebody's looking for a piece of land. So when I came to visit, I found people around who are ready to show me 10 other pieces of land elsewhere. So because they're looking for their cash, you find that these are brokers that come to you. So you'll find a broker like somebody who knows I've already bought this piece of land. They'll come with somebody else and tell them, now, let me sell you this piece of land.
Yeah.
Because if they do a search, they'll still find it under the grandfather because they haven't yet transferred. So the people who get called is during this process. When somebody knows there's already a buyer, the transfer hasn't been done, if we do the search, we can rip this person off before the search changes.
So
that's what I'm saying. Finding out the land history is the most important thing about when you're buying land. So when you're buying, don't be too fast. And that's what I'm saying. When I came here, I got too many people enticing me to buy different pieces of land. So if you're somebody who's greedy, you would be enticed and then you'll end up getting ripped off very, very easily. So do your research, find out the different price points, because I needed to find out the person who's my neighbor, how much did they buy that piece of land, the other pieces of land around the area, how much do they cost, so that I'm able to know, hey, am I getting a good price for this land or not? And because, like I'm saying, Korea has big parcels of land and the prices vary. There's another piece of land that I was shown that's bigger than this and it was cheaper than this. But then the access route to get there was
as you guys saw just the way to get over here. You're walking through the bushes, through the thick. So do you sometimes, like, if there's already a developed land, the land will be at a higher
price point.
Okay.
So for me, I would have gone for the other piece of land, which was bigger and more affordable.
Yeah.
But the road getting there was too bad, and also the land. They kept telling me the title deed is ready, but it was like a mid person. So somebody was selling it on behalf of somebody else.
Okay.
So when I ended up doing my research, the person who was selling the land wanted to sell it at 1 million, but the person who showed me the land was selling me 1.5 million.
Oh.
So you see, they had already put their margin of 500,000.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, if you're looking to buy land, who are you buying it from? Doing that due diligence of the land search. If you can get it from the direct owner, it will be better than having a broker who's the one who's connecting you to the person. But do get the property number and do a search. That's the only advice I would tell anybody whenever you're buying land, either in Korea, either in Nairobi, anywhere else. Just make sure that you've done the due diligence in terms of who owned it before, how many people have owned it, has anybody else been sold the land before you have, and is there any pending purchase that's already ongoing while they're showing you that piece of land.
Right.
So I had to do all that.
So for you, like, what are your intentions with this? Because this is a big piece of land. If you're not comfortable saying what you...
No. So I'm all about sustainability and also just making sure that we maintain the old ways of keeping the land fertile and sustainable, because I feel like with the new practices, the fertilizers that are being brought, a lot of my neighbors are complaining that the productivity of the land is diminishing. So instead of adopting the old school or the new school fertilizers, I want to use this piece of land to try and practice the old school. So this part that I'm saying I haven't yet dug or developed, I want to start doing compost. So I've already planted my trees inside here. I want to, you see, like right now when they're harvesting, all this is waste that I want to dig a big hole. You know the way we were being taught, put manure, put all this. So I want to be taking waste from all their farms and decomposing it, get manures, and then I will be making my own manure that I will be transferring
natural organic
manure.
Right.
So the 5-year plan is to grow my 4,000 to 5,000 trees and have a very, very good developed forest.
So are the trees also here, or is just mainly in a corner area?
This area I just wanted, this is where I want to build something. So I can't plant trees. I want to build something. Either I also want to have a tree plant. So this I want to just develop it towards whatever will be feeding into this piece of land. So 5 years, the trees. I want to also keep honey and have a beautiful botanic indigenous garden, forest and garden. 10 years, I want to build a home for the elderly. Yeah, so that's why I want it to be in the forest. And I
surrounded by nature.
And I want it to be a resort of sorts. 10 different homes where I have proper medical facilities and caregivers who take care of, because our parents are aging, and I'm sure in the next 10-15 years most of us will not have the ability to take care of them. So I want to have started building a retirement home.
But right here in the village?
This piece of land that we are standing, not right in the village here. This is where I want to build. That's why if they can extend for me, I wanted to make sure that I have 5 acres to do that project on, because I wanted the project to sit on a 5-acre piece of land. So far I'm sure they can add until 3, so I'm willing to start with the 3. So I want there to have already activities happening here, because I feel like at that age you need to be one with nature and do things that are on the ground. So it will be many homes where you have your small garden that you can be taking care of. My beehives will be there so that they can be doing activities like beekeeping and harvesting honey. There's a stream over there where there is water. So I want to have already created the activities that the homes that I will be building here, they can continue and will give them purpose in life at that age, to be doing small things. The pottery classes that I was telling you, I want to build a whole training institution for woodworking, pottery making, beekeeping. So that whole project, I wanted to sit here. This is why I don't want to dig this piece of land. So I want, if I can do something like a warehouse of sorts to begin with, then start the decomposing of the manure that will be going in there. I'm building the small houses for the bees, because that one I can do right now as everything is continuing. But I want this to be a self-sustained ecosystem where you can eat from the ground. You can still give back to the community in terms of nature. You decompost. I just want it to be a functional ecosystem for living animals, birds, and everything in between.
And guys, as you can definitely see, everything is green all across the vast expanse of this land here. Everything here is green, natural, and I think this is a great perfect setup where you decided to choose to put this your development in. This is really great, because I don't think a lot of people are thinking about to invest in the villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the one thing, one of the key selling points was that where I saw the government road will pass, maybe in the next 10-15 years, it will just pass right outside just next where the trees are, where those trees are. So that means that eventually, right now it looks like we're in the thickets because we're passing through bushes.
Yeah, because there's no road.
In 15 years time, that road will come directly from there to my piece of land. It's
perfect.
Strategic.
Yeah, that's very strategic. Yeah. Beautiful people, we're just checking out my sister's land here in the village in Masaba, here in Kuria West. So we're just making our way from checking it out. And guys, like I said, we're in the thickets of bushes in the countryside. You can see how everything looks like here. So this is the way of life. This is the village setup, the real village setup that I came up under. And I can even see when I was a kid, we had banana trees and mango trees. And guys, this structure that you see right over here, this is a toilet and a bathroom that folks over here use. You can see it's just simple, but it's still of life over here. We're finally coming to reunite with my siblings. They already made their way back up. But guys, this is the simple way of life here in the village. This is a cow. We have chickens here. You can see. And so this is the simple toilet that people over here use. So just a simple, you have to crouch if you're tall. But this is a hole that they dig, and they just squat and take care of their business. This is a typical setup, the countryside that I grew up as a kid. But this is what it looks like here in the villages of Africa. This is Kenya. Simple, humble life, humble beginnings. This is how I started. So I'm planning on actually visiting like my homestead of my grandfather where I was born pretty soon. This is the corn. They dry their corn or their maize like this. This is the houses, as I was telling you, it's like in a round shaped houses with the main one door entrance to the home. So this is life in Africa. They wash their clothes and hang them along the flowers. And as you can see, the iron sheets are very old. But this is how life in the countryside looks like, and people just live and continue going on. So yeah, if you're curious about life in the countryside, in the village, definitely check out our vlogs here in Kenya. So guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. I appreciate all the things that you guys are coming and checking the channel. But this is authentic raw Africa. Guys, peace, love, God bless. Until the next one, Wagwan. See you in my next vlog. Oh, yeah.